We've got new stuff to play with today, so let's break something. First things first, we're gonna need the right upgrades. Some restarts later reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by 10%. While we're at it, let's gain 2 dashes on the very next level up. Dashes are very essential later on to breaking things. There's another 2 dashes. We'll go ahead and take those now. We've already got 6 dashes. Those lately will translate to damage and survival. Now we're going to gain a lot more damage. We're going to go from 60 all the way up to 80, all for destroying the morons. The game's really trying to get me to have dashes. I don't want dashes. We're going to reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by a further 10%. And now we're fighting the flying blankets, but 2 hits and that thing's dead. Cooldowns and abilities are going down by a further 10%, so they're already down to 66% of what they were. They're knocked down by a full 1/3. Now we need some actual abilities that those can work on. For now, I'll kill a giant rolling potato. This one's a good one. Permanently gain 10% attack speed every 120 seconds. Reset the progression each time you take damage. So I just need to avoid getting hit for a while and we're going to get more attack speed. At this point, I think I'm going to take a little bit more max HP, so that'll give us 5 base. It was basically the best of all the options we had available to us there. And then we're going to gain more damage, 80 to 95. So we're not one-shotting the blankets yet, but we're definitely killing them in 2 very easily. And they need to die first because they're the ones that can shoot us with projectiles. That one comes with a health bar, so it's going to be extra tough. Next, we're going to gain more attack speed. We're going to go from 1.9 to 2.5 per second. That's actually a really big increase. So the thing with the health bar got absolutely wrecked. We'll pick up that chest as soon as we get the horde of morons off of it. We've sucked it up. What do we get? Protein Shrinker is interesting. Every time you move 20 meters, shoot a file towards the closest enemy. Enemies in area of effect around the target lose 50% of their health. That's simply a ratio, so that's going to be big. I might have got hit there, I might not have. I think there's a temporary invincibility once you get out of the menu or something, because that should have hurt us yet didn't. Projectiles bounce one more time. That's a huge one. That basically doubles our damage output, because that thing's going to bounce into 2 idiots now. So we can clear it out a lot faster. And the AoE is going up by a full 40%. We're starting to get those legendaries. We're fighting a mini boss. It's shooting projectiles back at us. I think that should be fine. It's an armored armadillo who knocks himself unconscious. I'm going to take a little more movement speed here, and this is probably the most balanced build I've built in any video game ever. AoE is going up by a further 20%. I know we can unlock a new character if we kill enough things with the aura thing, so we need to get a big area for that so we can kill lots of idiots with it. Armored idiot dead. Oh, here's a good one that works with what we've been building. You have a 5% crit chance for each ready to use stack of dashes. We usually have 6 of those, so that's going to give us 30% crit chance. That was really close. We actually have 7 dashes, so we're going to have a 35%. Here's some good ones. Do we want much more damage or do we want 1 more pierce? I think we want much more damage for now. That'll take us from 95 to 125. It's very sad when we get 2 good options like that because we do have to leave 1 behind. We're going to gain more damage again, so we're up to 140 suddenly. Now we can one-shot most of everything we're going to see for a little while. But this build so far does come with an interesting thing because we really don't need crit chance. Crit damage we can upgrade. We're also going to bring our AoE up by 40%. Eventually we'll find something to use that with. I guess it does always bank off that thing where if I walk far enough, I'll shoot the file towards things and shrink people down. Cooldowns and abilities or 2 dashes. The 2 dashes mean critical, so we're going to take those. So I can get 45% crit chance just because I have 9 dashes. Wow, I didn't realize those things keep rolling. I thought they were going to stop. That's perfectly fine. We could definitely take some damage there. There's a cooldown by further 15%, so we're going from 66 to 56%. That's a 10% knockdown overall. We're going to fight the giant tomato. He's going to work his way over to us, and we'll just kill him when he gets close. It's easier than me walking to him. Come on, start shooting him. There we go. Doesn't take too many hits. We got pretty big damage. Here's another good one. Deal 5% damage for every pierce you have, and we gain 1 pierce. So the more piercing we do, the more damage we do. That could actually really stack up, and that's one of the new items. AoE area is going up by a further 40%. It's already up to 250%. So once our AoE abilities start to show up, we'll start doing massive damage with those. Like that was already a massive one. We made those guys small and cut their HP in half. I'm going to take more damage at this point, 163. We don't have a huge amount of attack rate yet, but we'll get there. Damage can go for now, attack rate will build later. We've shrank a bunch of them down again. We're fighting a lot of little tiny baby enemies. AoE can go up by a further 30%. I'm just upgrading it because it's given to me at this point. We're obviously going to get some big abilities at some point. It's just really funny how big they are getting. Now we're going to fight Simple Tom, whose name fits him perfectly. Simple Tom is also quite slow, at least compared to me. We're going to take him down. He's already down to 75% HP. He's also going to sit there and absorb some damage. He's down to about 60 HP now. This is where I need more damage per second. I really need to get my fire rate up a lot. We're doing lots of crits though, so that feels good. Simple Tom is down to 10% HP and Simple Tom has deceased. Your shots come back to you and gain 5 piercing. That would also be 25% damage thanks to that other perk. I'm not going to take that one yet, but we do have 3 legendary upgrades in front of us. I'm going to take shoot 4 times faster but deal 3 times less damage. Obviously that's going to knock the damage down a lot, but the fire rate's going to go bananas, so our DPS has gone up a lot. And if we get enough projectiles out there doing enough fun things, this is going to be big. Plus, we're doing a lot of crits and we're only going to do more as time goes on. I'm going to re-roll these because I'm really only wanting like epic or legendary tiers. I'm going to try and put some of our damage back on, so we're going to go from 54 to 61, and at the amount of arrows we're firing, that is going to make a big difference. Once you start to bounce and penetrate a little more as well, we'll just be filling the entire screen with arrows. We're going to reduce the cooldown of dash and abilities by a further 15%, so now they're at 48% of what they originally were. And eventually we can use the dashing to add damage to ourselves as well, and I'm pretty sure that's a flat bonus, so once we get that, our damage will pair very nicely with our attack rate. I do have a plan after all, it's just forming as we go. Ooh, much more attack speed, just the kind of thing we need. We're currently at 13 per second, we're now at 18 per second. That was a 50% increase. I got so excited by that I took a direct hit. I feel pretty unstoppable currently. Okay, here's another one we want. Gain 40% critical chance. Critical chance upgrades are no longer appear. That's okay, I've got enough dashes. We basically have 100% crit chance now anyway. Which is why we're seeing 122 damage, because we're doing double damage for everything we hit. I think we actually have a 95%, 90% crit chance currently. I took a hit because I had to find that over there. Okay, we're going to take a lot more damage from 61 to 68, which is a very big difference, about 10%. Okay, I just got hit again, so I've got to stop doing that. I really got to start paying attention. I'm just getting way overconfident. After moving for a while, you shoot a slow, intangible projectile. Lightning hits a random enemy within its area every 0.5 seconds. Okay, that sounds like the kind of thing we could work with. My AoE is already at 300%, so I don't really want to mess with that. We'll just take more damage for now, up to 75. Oh, there's my big projectile. So once that goes around, that's going to hurt people a lot too, and it's quite big thanks to my AoE. I'm going to get one more choice for each upgrade and object selection. There's a lot of good choices here, but that's going to mean just a lot more legendary quality upgrades moving forward. Ooh, someone with the health bar. This will be fun. Okay, they're a little bit hard to get close to because of their triple projectile. But we'll still absolutely melt them thanks to our double damage monstrosity. When your projectile should be destroyed, their damage is reduced by 50% and they pierce instead. That gives me 2 more piercing, I believe, which should give me 10% more damage as well. Look at all the choices we get now. I kind of want to re-roll these and to hopefully, there we go. Your shots pierce to 1 more enemy and also give me another 10% damage. Yeah, that give me maybe 5% damage. Maybe it's 5% per level. Whatever the case, the damage is going up. And my dashes refill so big that even when I need to use them to get out of harm's way, I just wait for a second and they're back, and that puts our crit chance back up. Okay, there's another legendary, so we're going to go from 18 arrows to 23 per second. And we'll still get a lot more attack speed out of this, but this is still pretty good, especially for how early on we are. We're starting to get the moles showing up that throw TNT at us. We got a lot of different things to dodge. Here comes a Ninja Turtle with a sword. I think we're going to absolutely melt him as long as we can focus our damage on him. Speak of damage, up it goes from 79 to 84. I just wanted to get right out of there because I knew I was about to get hit by something. My Ninja Turtle has returned to me. We're just going to go ahead and melt him just like that. This one's also fun. Whenever you have to make a choice, upgrade an object, one of the options is marked by chaos. If we pick the chaos option, my damage goes up by 4. So that'll just naturally align with my wants every once in a while and give me 4% damage. These moles are getting annoying because I have to move a lot. I'd rather just hold still. Well, here's 4% damage, which is probably better than that, plus 2 max health, so yeah, I'll take that. So now our arrow's up to 175 damage, and we're firing a lot of them, so we're able to melt pretty much everything. We do still need a little bit of AoE attacks just to make sure things clear out faster. But this will be another good test of our damage again. Pretty sure him we can sit somewhere here. Nope. They might have updated his attack pattern because there used to be a safe spot to sit where you could pretty much sit here and just fire arrows on him. Damage definitely feels pretty good right now. He is down to about 60%. He's going to go for his little TNT tour, so we just don't touch the red stuff. He's going to pop back out and we'll get some easy damage on him by just, again, not touching the red stuff. And he's dead. Not as quick as I would have liked, but we got him. Okay, here's what we wanted also. We need some healing to go with this, but for now, before you dash, take 1 damage, but currently gain 5 default damage. And if we only have 1 HP left, that's not going to make a difference, but 5 damage to us is huge. So there's, well, it actually works with our, the number of reduction we have on our damage, thanks to our speed thing. That sounds really clunky, but basically we only get 2.5 damage per dash, but we're still up to 100 base damage now, which is basically pure crits as well. So we're doing 200 damage. I think I want to reduce the cooldown again by further 10%, so they're 43%, because eventually when we get the healing dash, that takes a long time to go off, so we need our cooldowns to be minimal. Then we get to stack damage up to ridiculous levels. The only problem is now we're taking damage every time we dash, so once we fight a boss, we got to be careful about dashing, otherwise we're going to bring ourselves down to 1 HP and that's going to be problematic. Here's an idiot with the health bar though, they're absolutely wrecked. This is a good one too, increase your attack speed by 1% per enemy on screen. So the more idiots there are, the more powerful I get. And that will make a difference because even with what's on screen, we're currently doing 35, 37 arrows per second, and that number's going to go up a lot. Well, there we go. Here's more attack speed plus damage anyway. So that added quite a bit to our DPS. Just ask the guy with the health bar over there. Okay, we absolutely melted him when we were actually hitting him. He's dead. I'm going to take 4 reroll choices because that just comes with 4% damage anyway. I'd be stupid not to take that. Rerolls are what we live off of, and 4% damage is 4% damage. Next, we're going to take 75% more crit damage. That's actually going to add a lot. Now we're doing 300 damage per arrow. That one increase was like a 50% increase to my DPS, which is absolutely insane. So now it feels like we're really on easy mode. We can gain damage on top of damage if we want this one. I don't know if we do because damage is going to be pretty easy to add. We're going to add attack speed for now. That added like 5 arrows per second. So here's an enemy with a health bar who's pretty much instantly dead. I want to take 10% more experience from future and past coins. That's just going to give me a lot more moving forward because levels are going to be harder and harder to get. We're already level 35. Let's take 75% more crit damage again. So now when we hit things, almost 400 damage. So our damage has basically doubled from where it was 3 minutes ago. Ooh, even more attack speed again. So we're going to go from 43 per second to 50 per second. Now our arrow is literally a laser beam that flies out of us. There's no gap between the arrows. We're melting that thing. Here's another new one. Gain 1 bounce for every pierce you have, plus we gain 1 pierce. Plus the 4% damage on top of that, so everything is just stacking up and up and up and up. I like the way our arrows look and feel. It is just an absolute stream of damage. And the cooldowns mixed with the 4% damage, a further 15% is going to bring us down to 36%. So cooldowns are at about 1/3 of what they started with. So that means something that would take 30 seconds would take about 10 instead. And that's the kind of progress we need. Now it's time for Sheriff Idiot Stick. I don't know why we're not shooting at him. Good job. I gotta be careful how many times. Wow, look at our damage. He is melting. Whoops. I do need to be careful how many times I dash because I will lose health every time I do. I don't think that's going to be much of an issue though with what I'm seeing because we've already knocked him off his horse. He will do the gun thing now, so let's try and kill him very quick. Okay, he's doing the balls. The balls are easy to dodge. We just got to sit roughly here. Now the balls will spin. If we stay here, we're perfectly fine. It's just a laser beam at him. It's actually a laser. He's down to 50 HP. I feel like he did that part for extra long because I've hardly had to move in quite a while. I'm mostly just sitting here killing him while he's playing with his balls. Okay, he's going to change the phase, but he's actually dead already. I don't actually have to move at all. He's dead. That was alarmingly easy, so let's see how much further we can take it all. Your first piercing shot now targets the closest enemy, gain 1 pierce. Perfect. Plus 4% damage on top of that. We're hitting enemies for about 500 damage each now, and we're firing a lot of arrows. We could add another bounce and 4% damage, and we're going to, though I don't think the projectiles are getting a chance to bounce. I think they just pierce until they leave the screen. Then again, we are seeing some coming back in different directions, so I think they're even bouncing off the screen, which is really good for us. At this point, it doesn't really matter that much. Wow, those ones actually circled around and around. This is definitely the kind of thing we need. Your projectiles now bounce off the edge of the screen, max 2 times. Reduces your attack speed by 30%. We can live with that at this point. We'll be firing slightly less quickly, but look at the arrows that are going to fill up the entire screen. I wonder if that works with my giant lightning ball as well. That would be grand if it would stick around. We'll find out shortly because it's making its way down. Will it bounce? It does bounce. It just had its 2 bounces, but it's just a giant orb of damage just going to go around. I need to pick my next upgrades carefully because I'm only going to get so many more of them. We are going to take 100% more critical damage. That's going to take us up to, it's hard to see, 640 per arrow. So let's see what the werewolf thinks of that. The arrows do stop and like circle around on him because they are heat-seeking or whatever. I'm going to take this as well. Every 1 meter, deal 30% of your damage to enemies in an area around you. That's somewhere where the AoE could actually make a pretty big difference. So if we're going around, we're going to do quite a bit of damage. It's just going to help thin things out because the enemies are going to start to swarm me pretty soon. There are a lot of them. Kind of wish I picked one of those little minions that could go around collecting stuff for me. Do we want another 40% AoE? Yeah, I kind of do, because that's 4% damage anyway, and you can never have too much damage. Speaking of which, I'm going to dash up into these hearts. We're going to take a little bit damage doing it, but we're also going to add a little bit of damage because of it. So now we're hitting for 700 damage per arrow. Ooh, here comes another werewolf thing. So we can't kill him in 1 burst of arrows, but 2 certainly works. I'm going to re-roll these because we need something better than what we've been finding. This one's fun. Every time we move 25 meters, we shoot a poisonous grenade. It inflicts AoE poison at 25% of my damage. If the enemies die from poison, it spreads to more idiots around them. So we could have chain reactions of poison. And my AoE is obviously pretty big at 320%. That's actually going to get a lot bigger now. It's going to be 360%. Critical damage likely would have been more effective right now, but giant AoE is just so funny. Plus, I can collect collectibles from a lot further away, and I like being lazy. Thanks for a few dashes, we're going to take critical and just that's damage on top of damage. But we're up to 800 and... Well, actually, we're up to about 1,000 per arrow suddenly. So let's see what the next health bar guy thinks of that. Okay, he's already dead, I think. Yeah, just about. Got him. We're going to gain 1 dash for every pierce we have. Plus, we're going to gain 1 pierce, so that's giving me that many dashes, which also gives me a critical chance, which I'm pretty sure is already way over 100%. We're also going to collect these hearts over here, just because that's going to give us some damage because we dash to them. Dash, 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 and we're good. Ooh, that's a nice even number, 1,111. I'm also going to take 100% more crit damage, so that's going to bring us up to 1,300 damage per arrow. At the rate the enemies are dropping hearts, I can afford to dash and pick some of those up. Eventually, we'll hopefully get the healing dash thing, but even at this point, it's not really a problem, because we can just pick up enough hearts because we're killing enough enemies. There's also this, which kind of works for that. Whenever you take 2 damage in a row, heal for 3 health. That is a 60-second cooldown, but I mean, if I do that, I get my health back right away, and we just wait for that cooldown to stop. And our cooldowns are basically 1/3, so it should only take 20 seconds for that to come back. So I'm going to take even more crit damage, because that seems to be big increases for us. We're up to 1,800 damage per arrow. I'm pretty sure my thing is back already, and it seems to have been, because our health went back. Either that or we picked up some hearts. Either way, we have max health and more damage to show for it. Got another health bar guy. He's flying straight at us, which is a really bad idea. Should we take triple our shot? It reduces our attack speed an awful lot. But then again, 3 arrows going out. And the more enemies that are on the screen, the more we shoot anyway. Let's do that. We're going to triple arrow it. Yeah, this feels worth it because suddenly the enemies are a lot further away. Yeah, our attacks are slower technically, but we're firing like 75 instead of 48 or whatever it was. So it's quite a big increase. In fact, I haven't had to move in quite some time. Oh, we should probably be doing the damage thing as well once in a while. 75% more crits. That puts us well over 2,000 damage. And we're going to do a little walk around and pick up all our bags of money that we've been getting at the edge of the screen. There is a legendary. I don't know if I need more bounces considering things tend to run out. Let's just get more crit damage. Now we're up to 2,300. This one's interesting. Picking up hearts no longer heals you, but we gain 3 base damage each time we do. I can heal from dashing right now if I'm careful. This also gives us 3 max HP. So we're going to go for this. So now we pick up these hearts and we're going to gain a lot of damage because of it. And we're okay because enemies can't really get close to me anyway. Plus I can go like that and we healed ourselves. I just want damage. That's all I want at this point. Damage in all its many forms. We did get hit there, but that's okay. Because I'm pretty sure we go like that. We'll dash again in a second. We'll put the HP right back on. We're also going to turn the cooldown down some more. Now we're at a true 1/3. Enemies do get close if we let them. We're going to dash there and we're up to 8. I didn't even realize there was a health bar guy over here. Here is one of the ones we've needed. Heal for 1 after you dash. So especially now when you go like that. Not sure why. Oh yeah, the other ability didn't go off there. So we take damage, but we also heal ourselves. So now that we have that other ability, we're back up to full health again. Plus we added a bunch of damage. And that's good because we're at only about 3,100 per arrow and we're firing only a few arrows. Cooldown's going to go down some more because the more we can use our dash ability, the faster we can put our HP back on and add damage. Whenever I take damage, triple my attack speed for 5 seconds and we gain 2 max health. So like when we dash, oh, it does work. So every time we dash, we add damage, but also triple our attack speed. But we also heal the damage we take. So in theory, actually, we can just go like this a whole bunch. We'll add a whole bunch of damage. And we're still at max health. That's pretty fun because that actually adds a ton of damage. We jumped all the way up to 3,600. So we got like a 20% attack boost. Oh, here's a health bar guy. Let's see if we can... yeah, he's dead. For each current health, get bigger, deal 10% damage, but move 5% slower. I don't need to move that quickly right now. Oh, look at our damage. It jumped up to 8,000 and we're going to increase our crit damage by a further 75% and that's going to help our damage again. Now we just wander around a little bit and let our dashes come back. Damage is moved up to over 9,000 and we're probably going to reduce the cooldown even more. It's definitely getting to be diminishing returns, but it's down to about a quarter of what it originally was. So instead of 30-second cooldown, it's 7.5 seconds. And we just killed the health bar enemy. You also shoot behind you. Yes, that's very important as well. Now we have even more bouncy arrows going out in all directions. Also, if I dash and dash, we'll get our HP back. Officially over 10,000 damage. So to even further things, your projectiles leaving the screen now reappear on the other side. If we reduce our attack speed by 15%, I think that's probably fine. Because if enemies start to build up, there's a lot of arrows on the screen. But if the enemies do start to build up, our attack speed goes up anyway with them. But right now we're at the point where like enemies, we can barely even see them on the screen. I'm also getting very slow. Oh, there's a health bar guy. We're also going to shoot an orbiting projectile regularly. Not sure that's going to matter, but with their cooldown, those should show up quite often. Oh, my AoE is so big, it's actually off the top of the screen. But it's still doing damage to things, I'm pretty sure. Let's take a little more crit damage, or we should also do our dash back and forth. And I'm not actually sure, I guess it's all the hearts we're collecting on the left side. My damage is just continually going up as I'm walking around. I'm just a vortex of evaporation at this point. We are up to 13,000 damage. I hardly even see the enemies. They don't really get a chance to get close to me. Let's take another 10% off the cooldown. So we're at 24%, so we're officially below 1/4. Let's take Reckless Abandon. This is another new one. When you take damage, reduce your max health by the amount of damage you should have taken. Gain 10% damage per max health lost. So if I dash, I drop to 11, but I gain 10% extra damage. But that's just going to put my damage up extra quick. And our damage is already going up pretty quick. Here's another good one, Tumbleweed. For each bounce you have, we have a lot, summon a Tumbleweed that bounces off the screen's edges. It deals current damage. And we gain a bounce from that too, so now we're going to have Tumbleweed helpers. We have a lot of projectiles on the screen. I just realized that. There's a lot going on. I just realized our Reckless Abandon thing kind of works against us. Because as we were gaining HP, we were gaining 10% damage. So now as we lose max HP, we actually lose, so it balances out. We're just losing damage. Here's another fun one. Permanently augments your damage by 20%. Projectiles are slower, but they don't need to go anywhere in a hurry. The slower they are, the longer they're going to hang out for in reality. The game is starting to lag pretty good at this point, but we're up to almost 20,000 damage. I'm going to take 2 lenses, rotate around you. Your projectiles get bigger and deal more damage. And because of the AoE thing we have, that's definitely going to work out. And we're going to go through a lot of those lenses for much bigger damage. We also need one of these big bullets. Every 30 shots, your next shot is a huge, slow, triple damage behemoth. So if it goes through the lens, I think it could be a 6 times. I'm seeing some shots for 28,000 damage currently. So let's upgrade our critical hit damage as well. That should get even bigger. I'm seeing hits for 21,000 now. If they go through the lens and have a good multiplier, that should be doubled, I believe. So I think we could be getting into the 40,000s for single arrows. My big bullets are going everywhere. My tumbleweeds are going everywhere. My lightning balls are going everywhere. We have filled the screen with projectiles. I guess we'll take 4% damage and projectiles are going to bounce one more time. We're now going to deal 50% more damage and cooldowns are reduced by a further 30% when we're under half health, plus 4% damage. I'm seeing a lot of damage readouts for 40,000 at this point, so our damage is bananas considering how many projectiles are out there. Enemies are spawning in incredibly fast and we can barely see them at times. Like, even when we're not firing our main projectiles, it's still hard to see the enemies. If we hold still and fire them, I don't think we'll actually see anything. Well, here's another one that just simply will work. Augments your damage by 30%, reduces attack speed by 20%. That's perfectly fine. Our attack speed is plenty high. I'm seeing hits now into the 50,000s. They're a little hard to see. There's one down there. 55,491. I've been at this so long, my brain is starting to melt. We're going to reduce the cooldowns by a further 10%, so we're down to almost 1/5 of what they originally were. So something that takes 60 seconds takes a little over 12 right now. Every time I move 2 meters, lightning strikes a random enemy, dealing 100% damage in a small AoE, which is now a massive AoE, because we have the 360% AoE size. Yeah, this is funny. I don't actually have to use my main projectile anymore. Even my supplementary weapons, as we'll call them, are enough to defeat everything here. But when I want to let them all go, I sure can, and then everything dies in an instant and the game lags. I guess we'll just add more projectiles, because I'm not really sure anything else is going to be of much help at this point. So throw 3 knives in random directions for each 4 meters traveled. So if we go for a little walk and then stop, we're going to release all sorts of projectiles. There's also another treasure chest over here that's probably been down here for a while. Every time you move 2 meters, load your next shot with 2 more projectiles. Max 3 times, but that's just even better for us. Now every time we go for one of our little walks around just to clear up the map a little bit and eat some experience, we can come to a graceful stop somewhere along the way and let the projectiles fly all sorts of directions. Lightning hits a random enemy within an area around you every 0.5 seconds. That might be affected by my cooldown, so that might go off a lot. Definitely seeing lots of hits for 60,000 at this point, so the damage is getting up there. Our base damage is 3,600. Given the amount of projectiles we're firing and they can be on the screen and stuff, our DPS is likely in the millions. That obviously depends on how many enemies we can conceivably hit, but I don't really have a good way of measuring that right now because most of the enemies die off the screen. But that's sort of also why I think we're potentially doing millions in damage. Okay, we're going to reduce our cooldowns even further. We're less than 20%. This one's not the most effective, but permanently increase your damage by 15%. Sure, why not? Yeah, okay, thinking about it, if we're doing 40, 50,000 per bullet, it's only going to take 20 things being hit to essentially 25 things being hit to be a million DPS. And I think we're hitting 20 things at a time, given that we're hitting a lot off the screen. Whatever the case, it's a lot of damage. That's all that really matters. Here's an even better one. Permanently raises your attack speed by 40%. Half of my shots are less precise. We also get a 4% damage increase, but we don't need precise shots because they ricochet, they bounce, they transcend through time and space. So I'm about to come to a stop in a second. I just wanted to pick up a few coins and stretch my legs. Also, when we're doing this, we're picking up the hearts, it also increases damage. Basically, everything we do increases our damage, but let's let those projectiles go. Game took a pretty good leg. There's so many projectiles that it's actually hard to see the treasure chest. Like there's one right up to my left. And this one's fun. Objects in chest cannot be identified. You gain a chest for every 7 levels you've gained. I'm at level 57. The game doesn't like this very much. We'll just take the one that shows the damage meter. Emits an aura that slows enemies around you by 35%. I feel like this might break the game. Slows enemy projectiles in the area around you. Okay. No, we're going to stick to the 4% ones. These are coming anyway. When we collect 66 coins, we're going to summon 5 demons. Alright, nothing else was that significant there. We do have a flying demon around us and we are up to 12 HP again. So our damage went up again. Our base damage is 6,400. Seeing a lot of shots going out for 74,000 damage. It's getting hard to calculate or factor in what's what out there, but we're just doing a lot of damage. Oh, there go my little demons out there to make a mess of things. They'll run off and kill things on their own good time. Also, my demon over there is ready to fire his giant laser, so we'll let him do that. Oh, we shouldn't have taken this. His shots come back and gain 5 piercing. Maybe they'll still hit the edge of the map though, actually. I'm not really sure. Whatever the case, enemies aren't getting close to us. I don't think it matters what we do at this point. Pretty sure I'm seeing lots of like 6-digit damage numbers. It's getting hard to see them though. There's one right here for 96,000, so it's not inconceivable. If we raise our maximum health by 1, how much damage does that add? 400 actually, that's quite a lot. Yeah, okay, I am seeing damage numbers for 144,000. I'm not imagining that. So we can do over 100,000 per arrow. And most of them, the minimum seems to be 90-something thousand at this point. There's a lot of numbers. See, there's 102,000. We also have quite an army of minions. I didn't even realize how many of these guys we had. We're collecting so many coins, we're spawning them. But I think I proved my point. We've got so many idiots out here on the map and so much damage. I just wanted to see if we could get over 100,000 per arrow at this point, and we easily can. But I know that when my HP drops, we should add damage, show up to 9,800 base damage. There's 170,000 damage. Let's get rid of a few more of those. We have 2 HP currently. Well, obviously we only need to hit 10 things at once to have a million DPS, and I think we're more than doing that. We're probably got tens of millions of damage per second at this point. And if I dash one more time, our base damage is up to 9,500. I forgot that kind of works against me too. I am pretty sure I'm seeing some hits for 350,000 as well, but again, millions of damage per second. We've done potentially over 1 billion damage at this point if my calculations are correct. But I feel like I've won this round.